This is Monkey World, the largest ape and monkey rescue centre on the planet. With every animal comes a story. Some funny, some shocking. Dramas great and small. Today on Monkey Life, Jim and Alison are on a special mission to Mexico. They are here to collect a lively 3-year-old chimp called Bryan, who's been mistreated by his owner.
He's a very happy, very healthy little boy.
Jim gets to fulfill an ambition.
Best of luck, fellas.
And there's frustration when Alison tries to track down an adult chimp called Coco. Rescuing primates is a crucial part of Monkey World's work. So far, the park has rescued 118 primates with the help of 15 governments around the world. Today, they're about to break new territory. Jim and Alison Cronin have travelled 5,000 miles away to Cancun in Mexico. It's their first rescue mission in this country, and it's for a young male chimpanzee called Bryan.
Gracias. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sorry.
What?
It's all yours. Oh. He's got his mom. Oh, he's a good boy.
The mission to rescue Bryan began a year ago. It hasn't been easy.
Good boy.
In October 2005, Hurricane Wilma hit Cancun. It took several weeks before anyone could confirm that Bryan had survived the storm. And then, Jim and Alison were faced with pages of official paperwork and frustrating transatlantic bureaucracy. Finally, with the help of local conservationists Gloria Fraser and Sarah Rincon, Jim and Alison managed to get the Mexican authorities to confiscate Bryan. Since then, he's been living at Escaret Eco Park. It's a 5-hectare conservation site, and a wide variety of native species live there. But chimpanzees are not native to Mexico, and it's important for Bryan to grow up with other chimps, so Monkey World were asked to give him a home.
Come here. Good boy.
It seems the 3-year-old is already making quite an impression on Jim and Alison.
No. Good boy.
They will have daily meetings with Bryan. It's important he gets to know them because it will make it easier for him to settle back into life at Monkey World.
Got him.
Yeah, I know.
I got him in a spot. Oh, he's a good boy. You know what I'm really happy about is he's a very happy, very healthy little boy. And it's great when a place like this has gone to so much trouble. He's been loved, he's been looked after, he looks terrific, and he's a lot of fun. That's a happy boy. Drink break.
Bryan's story is typical of many chimps used in the tourist industry. He was stolen from the wild in West Africa and was being trained as a beach photographer's prop. He may have had a difficult start in life, but he's a very lively and sociable chimp, and Jim thinks he could make the perfect playmate for one of the park's cheekiest residents.
If I had to find one chimp that Seamus is gonna think it's like his little brother, it's like perfect for him. So, the only difference with him and Seamus, he's got no teeth and he's far too clean. Far too clean. Seamus is gonna muddy this boy up.
And back at the park in Bryan's future home, Seamus is causing havoc, as usual. It will be fantastic for Seamus to have a new playmate, but hopefully not all of his naughty behaviour will rub off on Bryan. The rest of the group are enjoying a new delicacy: young coconuts, which have extra soft flesh inside. It's the first time they've tried it. The chimps are always interested in anything new, especially food. 5-year-old Pip is usually quite shy, but even she is curious about this new treat. She takes some from Johnny. Johnny can be unpredictable, so it's very positive that she allows Pip to share. Seamus has stopped terrorising adult female Lulu and has decided to see if she'll share with him. The little hooligan is used to getting spoiled by foster mum Sally, but Lulu isn't as much of a pushover. And she won't respond well to being challenged. Seamus is a determined young chimp who likes to get his own way. But today, even a tasty treat isn't worth a showdown with feisty Lulu. Foraging for food is an important part of chimp life. In the wild, they can cover up to 4 miles a day in search of something to eat. And a young chimp is totally dependent on its mum. They will learn everything from her, including how to forage and what food is safe to eat. Lulu and Sally are the only adults in the group, so the youngsters will learn from them. And although treats can cause squabbles, it's lovely to see the others join them without tempers getting flared. Hopefully Bryan will fit in perfectly with this friendly bunch, as long as he's not learning the ropes from Seamus. But back in Mexico, Alison's finding out that Bryan already has quite a lively personality.
Bryan!
He doesn't want to let her out of his enclosure.
You're not gonna let me go! Are you not gonna let me go? Bryan has decided I can't leave. We'll just have to trick you somehow, won't we?
Bryan's found his mom. Bryan actually found his mom. He's crazy about Alison.
We get on well.
He walked in there, and Bryan just went, "That's it, this is over." And Bryan just loved her.
In a few days, Jim and Alison will be taking Bryan back to Monkey World. But before they go, there's something else they need to do. An adult female chimp called Coco needs their help too. Alison's been following her plight for over 3 years.
I've been receiving letters and photographs from tourists who come to Cancun on holiday and see Coco being paraded down the beaches in the midday sun, running from umbrella to umbrella, stealing people's drinks. And this photographer apparently takes Coco and sort of pushes her on top of tourists for photographs, asks for $10 for every photograph, and so he's working her on the beaches every day. I think even Coco is getting a bit tired of it because several of the reports have said that Coco has actually grabbed hold of women on the beach or even out on the street in Cancun and sort of tried to bite them. Sadly for Coco, she's had all of her teeth knocked out in the front, so when she tries to bite somebody, she doesn't do any harm. But nonetheless, you know, that side of her chimp behavior is coming out and she's objecting.
Coco is actually owned by the same man who bought Bryan. But because Bryan was so young, he had a very lucky escape.
I think the problem is that the Mexican authorities see it is extremely difficult to try to confiscate this chimpanzee that's 20 years old. But when Bryan appeared, and all of a sudden we've got the baby to one day replace Coco, they've grabbed Bryan, and the question really is, will they, can they, take that next step to do something about Coco?
It's personal now. We know Coco. I've got photographs of Coco. I could pick Coco out of a lineup. I don't think we'll rest until we get Coco confiscated and then back to the park.
Jim and Alison are desperate to catch a glimpse of Coco. They want to see for themselves the sort of life she's leading. So they search all the places Coco has been spotted. And at last, as night falls, they get a lead on where she will be tonight.
We've been going through the shopping centers, the beaches, in the midday sun, doing exactly what Coco does, and I can tell you right now, it's hard, hot work, but finally, at the end of today, we had a tip-off.
There's miles of beach here. There's a lot of shops, a lot of places you can be at any given time. To find out that we might know where she's gonna be at 7 o'clock tonight, that's phenomenal. If we see her tonight, and when we see her tonight, she's been working since this morning. Now, apparently, she works from 7 at night till 10 at night. So poor Coco is working at 12, 13, 14-hour day, and that's the life that she leads.
But Coco does not show up. Although they're disappointed, there is some good news. The police are going to raid Coco's owner's house. They might even confiscate her, and they've asked Jim and Alison to come with them. Coco is a fully grown chimp, and the police are worried that she could become violent. They need support from some experts in chimp behavior.
We've been told that actually on Monday the police would like us to accompany them and actually go to the man's house and either have a look at Coco. We're not quite clear what they're saying yet. It's not quite straightforward whether they want us to just have a look at her and consider her circumstances, or whether they simply want to take her on Monday and take her to Escaret to be dealt with in future.
In the morning, there's more bad news. The police are forced to cancel their plans to confiscate Coco. The police reassure Jim and Alison they will not give up on the adult chimp, but they can only take Coco from her owner if they witness her being worked. It might take another year for them to pin down Coco's owner, but Alison's already waited over 3 years and has no intention of giving up. For now, though, they need to return their attentions to Bryan and his safe journey back to Monkey World. But no matter how far they are from Monkey World, they always keep in contact. And today, animal manager Jeremy needs to talk to them about chimpanzee Jolene.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, Jeremy, how are you?
Not too bad. Too bad. Just going to fill you in on Jolene.
She has been unwell for a couple of weeks and had a series of tests to try and work out what was wrong. But the test results are back now, and they haven't shown up anything sinister. She even began to pick up, and the team were hopeful she was on the mend. But now, she's in decline again. So today, the vet has given her a steroid injection.
Come on.
This will reduce any inflammation she has, provide pain relief, and act as a general pick-me-up.
Since then, she has actually picked up and
Yeah.
she started eating, and so we've managed to get the antibiotic into her.
Okay.
And we're just giving her a lot of fuss and attention and making her comfortable and happy here in the bedrooms.
Although everyone is pleased Jolene is feeling better, she will need to be closely monitored. The steroids are only tackling her symptoms and not the cause of her illness.
She's responding.
Okay.
She's responding really well, and she's talking a lot, and I'm a lot happier than what I was yesterday.
All right, hey, hang in there. Keep everything going.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see you later. I'll call you as soon as something else is going on. See you later.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. It's really nice to know he's there holding the fort.
Jeremy was really concerned, and sort of, when Jeremy finally admits that he's really concerned, you better start moving.
We're gonna have to consider more blood tests, and we're really gonna have to sit down and talk with John and Mike and try to get a handle on this thing. So, because we actually don't know, in the end, what her problem is right now.
Happy that Jeremy has everything under control back home, Jim and Alison can concentrate on their challenge. It's time for their second meeting with Bryan. It's taken a year to get all the paperwork in order for Bryan to come to England. And during this time, he's been very happy at Escaret Eco Park.
Whoa, he's a good boy.
He may be happy now, but when Bryan opens his mouth, it's a glimpse into the life he used to lead. All of his teeth, apart from 4 molars, have been knocked out.
We've seen it before with many primates where the front teeth get removed, but never all of them. So we were trying to figure out how somebody could have, it would have been a big operation to remove every single tooth in the poor little guy's head. Yeah, go get Jim. Nightmare even as a beach photographer's prop, which just goes to show why the teeth get pulled out, why they get put on drugs, why they get beat up. The whole thing is simply an unmitigated nightmare and means that Bryan was made an orphan, his mother killed. And for what?
This would not be a fun life for Bryan. It would be long, it would be 16-hour days, and there's a good chance, that he could die young because of it. And it's because of Escaret and places like Escaret that we can work with, that we can make it stop, and we can give Bryan a home.
Escaret doesn't usually care for chimpanzees, but it's clear they've done an excellent job looking after Bryan. They specialize in giving sanctuary to native species, and like Jim and Alison, their conservation work is very important to them. They're keen to show them the work they do with sea turtles.
And one of the things that Alison I found really exciting was the opportunity to work with another organization, to work with Escaret and see what one of their programs is like. Very, very different from what we do, but kind of the similar.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's very much, there's a lot of similarities because it's about rescue, it's about rehabilitation, and it's also about the release of the sea turtles back into the ocean.
Escaret has an ongoing program dedicated to the conservation of threatened turtles. Every 2 months, they take 1 or 2 nests from the beach back to the park. This not only protects the unborn babies, it also educates people about them. And a couple of weeks after hatching, the baby turtles are released into the sea. To date, they've released over 29,000 baby turtles back to the ocean. And Jim and Alison are about to see some of the lucky ones that made it.
I think for Alison and I mean, it's just been amazing. I mean, this was really one of my first loves, and somewhere along the line, you know, I left the idea of being in the ocean and studying the ocean and found myself with primates. So this is kind of a dream come true for us.
The team has discovered a viral infection, which is isolated to this bay. It's making the turtles ill. To combat the problem, they need to do regular health checks.
They've gotten the measurements, the length, the width, fecal samples, 2 different kinds of blood tests. I mean, it's a really thorough job, and it's not easy work. You know, you get huffing and puffing here pretty quick. They're incredibly powerful. Those flippers are so strong. We are so pleased that we could really be here.
With the assistance of Escaret, hopefully this population of turtles will continue to thrive. And as night falls, it's time for an even bigger treat for Jim, releasing the next generation of baby sea turtles into the ocean.
Best of luck, fellas.
Only a few of these babies will make it to adulthood. Many will get eaten by seabirds, crabs, and fish. But the rest will disappear off to grow up in the ocean. They won't be seen again until they are young adults.
It's just amazing to be able to participate in something like this and see it through from beginning to end, and to earlier today see some individuals who have done exactly what these little guys did tonight and know that they're out there and actually surviving and doing well. It's just fantastic.
Oh, wow. Wasn't that something?
It's been an emotional trip for Jim and Alison.
Hola, sweet pea. Hey.
Although they are thrilled to be taking Bryan home with them, they are frustrated that they've had to leave without even seeing Coco. Alison has been fighting for Coco for over 3 years, and she is not going to give up. But for now, everyone is focused on 3-year-old Bryan's safe journey to England.
Okay.
Easy. He needs to be in the shade.
We need him?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's not sure what's going on. There's so many people around and everything. But you can see he fits into the box very nicely. And you can't be too worried if you're prepared to eat your banana. Good boy.
Bryan may well fit in his box, but it seems the box may not fit into the plane.
Box has been here for a long time. But they've just switched planes going back. And now they were worried about the width of the box. And I'm thinking, you are kidding me.
Zach Tidy from the travel company is on hand to sort the problem out.
So the actual hold door is 38 inches wide, which is pretty much the width of this crate. But if we do find when we get there it is too tight to get the aft hold, we've got like a plan B.
Oh, okay, so
we'll
he's
get him
in.
on. We'll definitely get him on.
I mean,
one or the other.
Get this.
Bryan is understandably nervous of what's going on around him.
We're gonna unload him.
And when the team make it to the airport, the temperature and the tempers reach boiling point.
He must go now. Hey, he must go now. He must go. It's too hot.
Vámonos.
Let's go. Come on, you have to go.
It's vital that Bryan is kept in the shade while the paperwork to allow him airside is sorted out.
The sun is still beating down. He must be in the shade. Everybody can say hello to him, but please put him in the shade. They're all just playing with the box.
Alison is desperate to make sure the 3-year-old is okay, but no one is allowed to accompany him while he goes through the cargo.
He will die.
He will die very fast. in the sun.
This needs to be put in the shade, please.
They're not putting the box in the shade. Yes,
Yes,
we
I am
must
a
go.
doctor. Tell the man in the yellow he's still not in the shade. They are not putting the box in the shade.
She eventually persuades them to let her through.
You are the doctor. Go to the chipmunk, please.
All right, thank you very much.
Stay there.
Well, they've let Alison go through, which is very nice. Thank you very much. We don't have the right pass, really, to be in this area, but they've made an exception so that Alison can go through and stay with Bryan. Alison will now get Bryan in the shade. No one will get in her way. I mean, that's just a fact.
Jim and Alison have been on many rescue missions, but they never relax until the animals are safely back at the park.
Okay? Excellent.
In just a couple of days, Bryan will be living with the other chimps for the first time. And for Sarah Rincon, who has been instrumental in this rescue, it's the moment she's been waiting for.
You're very welcome.
Traernos a un medio ambiente similar al de ellos. Que Dios los bendiga y vamos a seguir rescatando animalitos. Eso queda como un compromiso.
We will take good care of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Special welcome to Bryan. I hope he really enjoys the flight with us.
Next time, Bryan makes it safely back to Monkey World and meets keeper Lee.
Hello.
And chimp Jolene takes a turn for the worse.
We're going in here to see if there's anything that's feasible to do. I'm frightened there isn't.